on any partisan political issue. Further, immigration has a negligible effect on the city's revenue or expenditures, and therefore no relevance to the business of the city. We have plenty on our plate. We don't need more. Individual council members do have a right to mount a soapbox outside of City Hall to harangue a partisan issue, although I am convinced that to do so hurts the team, hurts the city, because you will always alienate someone in power. They do have the right. However, to make the city a player in partisan politics is wrong and is inconsistent with the principle enshrined in Washington law that municipal governments are nonpartisan. So to put it another way, even if 2/3 of the voters support a partisan state or national issue which has no direct bearing on the business of Washougal, I believe it is wrong for the City Council as its legislative body to advance that partisan issue against the opposition of even a small minority. People who think our state and our U.S. Constitution are about majority rules haven't read it. The founders wrote the constitutions to protect us from, quote, the tyranny of the majority, end quote. Nothing that the city does can or will affect any solution to the immigration problem. Once they step out from behind the dais, individual members can say any damn thing they want. But for council to take a stand on this issue on either side is wrong. It only hurts the city. For myself, I hold the conviction that when I accepted my position on City Council, I assumed the duty to subjugate my personal ambition, my public statements, and my personal habits and behavior toward a commitment to the advancement of Washougal, toward providing a future for Washougal that is not only not less, but greater than was given to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
I would like to address that real quick. I don't want the audience or even some on the council here to get the idea that because a particular council member or council members stake out a position, they're doing it for partisan reasons. I can remember a time on this council when this council continually pushed global warming initiatives, when they continually pushed domestic partnerships. You want to talk about partisan, talk about issues that are politics. I think that the council members should really take their own advice in that. We've had to endure these kind of issues in the past. These are just issues, common sense issues that people want to weigh in on. And I think as individual council members, we can go to our state representatives and say, hey, can you pass this for us? But they look at us and say, oh, we can't do that. It'll never go anywhere. We took a vote on this council because we wanted to send a message. We are a player. We are a player in a bigger picture. And this crowd would not be here tonight if we weren't a player in a bigger picture. So I just want to encourage the council that it is okay to speak up on issues, even if some would say that they are partisan. I would say that they are just common sense issues. Thank you.
Dave?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Mayor. A couple of observations listening to comments here tonight. not addressing partisan political issues would severely limit our agendas and avoid dealing with issues that need our attention. So I'm concerned about that kind of classification and efforts to obstruct our efforts. Another issue, the approval of SB 1070 by Arizona was Arizona's SB 1070. Our approval of their resolution was not the issue here. We didn't approve their resolution. We can't do that. The issue that we brought forward was we like the idea of what they have done, and we want our legislators to do something similar. So we're not approving their action. We're asking our legislators to take action. That is our purview. It is not only our purview, it is our responsibility. And finally, I would point out that using value-laden accusatory words like soapbox and harangue are not really appropriate ways to address colleagues on the council. Thank you.
Any other items from council? Just
Go ahead.
Mr. Mayor, I did want to mention that recently in the state of Illinois, there was a city council that was having a contentious issue come up, and it was during a committee meeting, I believe, not actually the council itself. And traditionally, public comments were part of that meeting. And in this one particular meeting, due to some tip-off, you could say similar to tonight, the chairman of that meeting decided to not have any public comments whatsoever, and it made the news in some fashion. I did want to say thank you at the very least for providing rigid guidelines so that people knew beforehand what the ground rules were for public comments. And I also appreciate the fact that while everybody wishes to have their voice heard, that very often just a small number of speakers can provide the main flavor of the issue. So I do appreciate that, and hopefully we'll have more discussion about that in the future. Thank you.
any other items from council? Any items that don't have, from council that don't have to deal with immigration?
I just want to thank the port for providing the facility for the weekend workshop. It was a great venue, and thanks greatly.
Okay, getting ready to go into public hearing. I do, one last informational item on the resolution for council. The week that was passed by council, that resolution was sent to the delegation from both the 15th and the 18th districts. And I also had staff forward it on to the 3 members of our congressional delegation at the federal level as well. So that was previously already sent out. Okay, public hearing. Agenda Bill 115-10, the 2011 to 2016 Transportation Improvement Program. Mr. Evers.
Thank you, Mayor Guard, council members. At our last workshop last Monday, we did have Dale Robbins with RTC Regional Transportation in, as well as Sharon Zimmerman from Washington State Department of Transportation. I've got a paper copy of 4 options in regards to State Route 14.
Jeff, give me just a second. Do we have, are there a lot of folks that want to exit the room at this point or listening on the transportation plan? If you want to exit the room, why don't we give a minute or so for chambers to clear, and then we'll go into the presentation from staff.
Make a motion to recess for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to recess for 2 minutes. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We'll be in recess until 8 o'clock straight up by the clock in chambers.